Love is the spirit of this church. And why not become the one who lives with a full moon in each eye that is always saying, with that sweet moon language, what every other eye in this world is dying to hear? Love me. I turn my face and hands toward you to behold and hold you precious. That was our invocation today. It's all born up out of our Universalist faith, this love language that we center in worship from week to week and hopefully guides us in our lives throughout the week. It's our guiding light. So that's where it comes from, our Universalist faith. God is love. That's what it teaches us in all matters and with all peoples, all. And this is not just some abstract thing we believe when it's convenient. We try to live it and live by it. And that's inconvenient, isn't it? We talked about the requirements of our faith last week. This is one of those requirements that we try being the key word, try. We try to live love, even when it is so hard. So this brings a date to my mind. We're going to go there for just a minute. November 9th, 2016. You know that date? So the election results were in. Trump was our president-elect. Yep. I was in seminary at Boston University School of Theology. I can so vividly remember driving to school that morning, just heartbroken over the division, heartbroken and angry, and mainly scared, just scared. I was so thankful to have that wonderful community to lean on and learn from. I learned a lot. And a fellow student there at the School of Theology, she was a young Methodist woman who was pursuing military chaplaincy at the time. She decided to make a large sign on November 9th, 2016. And then she sat on a bench in Harvard Square for the entire week after the election holding it. And it read, and I'm going to quote it exactly because photographs were taken of her and even put in the Globe, this picture of her. This is what her sign said. Support Trump? Please talk to me. I'm hurting. I promise to just listen, not interrupt, say thank you, and offer cookies. Just listen, not interrupt, say thank you, offer cookies. Talk to me, I'm hurting. And what transpired was, in her words, more powerful than anything she could have imagined. She eventually turned this experience and the countless heartfelt conversations that she had that week into a seminar, which she offered to Boston University students, Boston College, Harvard, and even the public, about how to have difficult conversations and, quote, deal with the hard stuff without losing hope in one another's humanity. Deal with the hard stuff without losing hope in one another's humanity. The social scientist Brené Brown, who has written countless books and offered talks about her immense amount of research on human connection and belonging, she says it this way: people are hard to hate close up. Move in. People are hard to hate up close. Move in. So let me unpack this a bit. The big, bad, blurry blob out there, the pale green pants with nobody inside them, it's an easy blob to fear and despise. I would even go as far as saying hate, for hatred is in us all. It's easy to hate those people. It just is. And it's very easy to find yourself united in shared disdain. We are certainly seeing this play out politically right now on both sides, right? Shared disdain for those people. And some of us might even think that this shared disdain, hatred, it gives us a sense of belonging or a feeling of connection with our fellows. I've had this feeling before. Brené Brown, however, points out that it's a fleeting sense of connection, built on sand. I'll say more about that in a moment. But do you know what I mean here? Have you ever spent an evening with friends just tearing people down? It's satisfying for a while, but then a kind of like integrity hangover sets in. I mean, the truth is there really is nothing very soul-nourishing or inspiring about an evening spent like this. It's once in a while, sure. I mean, we all need a good vent session. But if it's all that tethers you to your fellows, or your places of belonging, which I do air quotes around, if it's the only thing, Brené Brown refers to what I'm talking about here as counterfeit connection, because its bonds depend on having a common enemy. She calls this common enemy intimacy. Common enemy intimacy. I know about that. Yep. So if the bond we share with others is simply that we hate the same people, we simply manifest a community of hate. And we can't be fully human in a community of hate. We can't. I would say this is because dehumanizing others, it dehumanizes ourselves. This is the interdependent web of existence. It's real. It's real. Unitarian-Universalism calls us toward rehumanizing, not dehumanizing, for we believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every person. Of every person. And I call this a conversion to humanity. That's the call. In all our exchanges, words, and actions, how might we become more fully human and encounter one another as more fully human, more fully human? So what do I mean when I say conversion? Oh, that's one of those spooky words. Conversion at its root simply means a turning round. It just means to change or transform, that's all. A turning towards or around to humanity. A conversion to humanity. Aren't words fun? So many of these religious words feel like scary, pale green pants rowing by on kayaks. They're quite lovely when you get up close. Dr. Cornel West, he instructed me in much of this conversion to humanity-ness. Dr. West is one of our modern day prophets. He's an incredible mind and scholar who preaches the gospel of radical love and kinship, which he credits the Black church with. And he used to say to us in seminary that when it comes to collective liberation and radical love, inconvenient love, the focus should be on critical compassion and delicate, difficult conversations rather than responding to terror or injustice or difficulty by imposing terror or injustice on others. He would say to us week after week, you can't hate your way through this. Did any of you ever watch Oprah? I was such an Oprah fan, the Oprah Winfrey Show. Yeah, I've been thinking about her because there's this one episode that like gripped me. She once did a whole episode about people that are easy to hate. And she went to a women's prison and sat in a circle with women who had all committed the most unspeakable, horribly violent acts against their kids. I mean, just awful, right? And Oprah asked them to tell their stories in this circle. And woman after woman shared about the horrors of their own childhoods and abusive relationships and addiction and on and on. And after 3 or 4 women shared, Oprah suddenly said, aha. She often had those aha moments, right? Aha. She said, you are telling my story. You're telling my story, and I just realized that you just did something different with your pain than I did with mine. You just did something different with your pain than I did with mine. Aha. This is a conversion to humanity. When you realize we've got the same pain, we're just doing something different with it. And it's what the universal love that is the heartbeat of our religion, it asks of us to see the other in ourselves and ourselves in the other. And it's not, please hear this, it's not that we can't be outraged, heartbroken, incensed, or hold people accountable. Say, no, enough. But we do not succumb to dehumanizing hatred and wholesale condemnation. We have seen where this has gotten us. It is not working. So we try practicing humanity. Side with love. It is, after all, the spirit of this church. And here's where I want to say to you, we need to do this in small, manageable bites. Yeah. One thing I do that feels manageable is to only engage in hard and big, loaded conversations in person. I do not do this on email anymore, and I do not do this on social media anymore. It's just too easy in those forums to forget people's humanity. They're just faceless, right? So I don't do that anymore. I have yet to sit on a bench and invite people carrying scary signs to come sit with me and have cookies. This scares me. And if you're scared by that too, it's okay. We can be scared together. But can we promise to not let this fear morph into dehumanizing hatred? Can we try for that? I'm not going to make it hating my way through this life. We're not. We're just not. But we're going to take small bites, small steps. And my ask is that you take some of this with you this week. As you reflect on our transgender siblings on this day of remembrance and their fight to be seen and known as full human beings. As you consider our Indigenous siblings who are hurting this week and fighting on behalf of themselves and their ancestors to be seen and known as full human beings. As you break bread with family, or chosen family, or friends this week where hurt or indifference of belief might be acutely present, or the allure of common enemy intimacy beckons, how might you attempt connecting in a deeper, more humane way without the worry of an integrity hangover? Nobody needs any more hangovers this week. I'm sure that the sugar and the other things will be enough. Small bites, small steps. Try it. We try. For us, there is only the trying. Stay in it. Stay in it. So let's listen to Hafez's words again. Let them be our prayer in the coming days. They will be mine. For myself, for my fellows. With that moon language, admit something. Everyone you see, you say to them, love me. Of course, you do not do this out loud, otherwise someone would call the cops. Still though, think about this great pull in us to connect. Why not become the one who lives with a full moon in each eye that is always saying, with that sweet moon language, what every other eye in this world is dying to hear? And so I say to you today, I love you. I love you. And amen.